Hello, hi, my name is MomoMorgana and welcome back to the Sims 4 Ultimate Decades Challenge Side Household Update. This is actually our final side household update of this century, which is super exciting. The next one won't be until right after year 1400, I believe. So we're inching closer and closer to the end, y'all. I'm super excited. But let's get on with these side households. As y'all know, if you've made it this far, this is a new save file. So a lot of the side household families don't recognize each other as family. So you'll probably see some first cousins or potentially some siblings have certain wants and desires with each other that might not be very appropriate, even considering the time period. As for the cousins, I'm gonna just chalk it up to it being the 1300s. But if you see something else that seems a little weird or something else happens over time, even though we know that they are blood related, the game doesn't know and doesn't consider them blood related if they were not saved within the same household on the gallery. So I feel like I should put that forewarning up there because I was checking through the family trees earlier and I was like looking at everybody's wants and wishes and I was like, okay, there's some strange things here, but I can't really do anything about that. So if something happens down the line, hey, sometimes weird things happen in history. But all that to say, let's get started with our first family. So as you can see, we have Albreda here. After her daughter died, I thought about it off screen a little bit and I decided that there's really not much else for us to do with Albreda. I actually think she's done having children, especially since she's got that hates children trait and she's lost the two she got accidentally when she was messing around with Henry. So, you know, I figured that she thinks it's for the best, and you know, she and Henry both know it's for the best, that they are not in charge of or taking care of any children or having any children or anything like that. So she's still here in Oasis Springs. They've gotten past the shock or grief, whatever, of their daughter dying. So she still is working as a nope, this is Henry. They're still dating. They're not married or anything like that. Albreda's not getting married, but I did officially, I think I found a surefire way to stop her from getting pregnant. Like my Sims who are not supposed to have babies, I found a surefire way to stop them from doing that. As for stopping them from getting married or anything like that, I have not yet found a way to make sure that happens when I'm not in control of a household, but I'm gonna do my darndest for sure after this, But yeah, so she's still working as a low-paid killer, but now she's kind of just thrown herself into that lifestyle because, well, it's not like she was coming back home enough anyways, but now that she doesn't have a kid and Henry's working, it's really just the two of them here. She doesn't really have anything kind of making her stick around, so who knows what these two will get up to or what will happen, but hopefully at least she stays safe. Since she's decided to take this assassination route. Okay, my mouse is being weird. Since she's decided to take this whole assassination route, at least she's kind of being safe-ish, you know what I mean? But yeah, there's really not much to report. I guess the report is that Albreda is now officially a side household and I'm going to relinquish my control over her. So we will see what she gets up to and what she's like at a later date, I suppose. Next up, we have our sweet little Amice here, and I have made a few changes to her household. So she's still in Oasis Springs, as you can see, and if you recall, when I got rid of my control over her household, she actually had a few kids and got married and everything, even though she was not supposed to be doing any of that. But since I found a way to kind of stop that permanently, I did actually completely get rid of her husband and kids. So as far as the game is aware, she was never pregnant and never got married to begin with. So she's just been she moved out of the little compound with all of the other spellcasters she was staying with as their families grew and everything like that. So she's moved into this tiny little place on her own. She is still selling magical artifacts under the guise of being a blacksmith. Well, I guess she is still blacksmithing them. She's creating them herself, just infusing magic within them. So she's kind of gained a bit of a reputation with that. And as the hunters' strength and numbers grow, she decided to just kind of isolate herself even further, right? There is protection in numbers, but honestly, being like an alien spellcaster hybrid in a compound, it's not a compound, but like a mini village living situation with like 12 other magical people was probably not the best of moves, especially considering, you know, she could bring in danger that could potentially harm her friends and their children or vice versa or anything like that. So she just decided it was best for her to separate. And she's got this cute little place in Oasis Springs. She's got chicken, she could do laundry, and she's just kind of fending for herself. She's kind of liking the single life. She has this extra bedroom in case, you know, someone needs to come through, or like a spellcaster or another occult needs some help, you know, needs some help running away from any hunters or just starting a new life in Oasis Springs. She has like an extra bedroom where she offers people temporary refuge in her home. So that's kind of what she's gotten up to. And another reason why I gave the warning, I'm not controlling these families, so I'm not sure what's gonna happen, but like, you know, she has the want to flirt with Albreda, which is technically her baby sister, which would not at all be allowed in the game. And I don't have any game like mods or settings that would even attempt to allow that. So yeah, I should have put her and Albreda in the same household when I realized Albreda was no longer glitched out, so that the game would at least recognize these two as siblings, because they are not listed on the main branch family tree any longer because of my new save file. So hopefully nothing does happen between anybody who is a sibling that was like split apart, or like any first cousins or anything like that. I think the game does allow second cousins, but like hopefully no one that's too close, because this is too much. But yeah, I just hope nothing happens, but I'll try my best to stop it. I'll check in on them every now and again to stop it if I see it, but I only really check in on my families, like the main household. So if other households that were split apart, like the Rose Light family that was split, like the triplets, I can't really do anything about that if some of the split siblings that don't recognize themselves as siblings end up together somehow. So hopefully, once again, that doesn't happen. I'll do my best to keep a watchful eye out for at least the Sims we know are related in that way. I didn't even think about it till like I went through these households and I was like, oh my god, I can't stop that, because the the game doesn't know that they're siblings. So as unfortunate as it is, Amice is honestly living her best life. She's pissed as always, but who in the family isn't pissed? Are you truly a Smith if you're not a upset woman? Between her and Edith, like, maybe it's a good thing Amice was always going to move out, but maybe it's a good thing she was gone before Edith developed certain traits, because that would not have ended well at all. All right, so we're here with Aslac, who has become a bit more of an interesting character as of late. So as we know, Aslac recently joined the Monster Hunters Guild, and he is part of the Smith bloodline that has no occult blood at all, but he is not racist, I should say. He's not an occult hater or anything like that. He's actually a spy. So he kind of give Stephen, oh god, he's dead, but he was giving Stephen's family and all that heads up on any potential dangerous plans or anything that the hunters might have been planning. But it did take a toll on his marriage, unfortunately. So Morgan is not at all a fan of the fact that Aslac is in a job that is putting not only himself but also their own family in danger. If they find out that Aslac is related, albeit distantly, to occults and has been hiding them, pretending to be them, and kind of double teaming the Monster Hunters Guild, who knows what they would do to Morgan and any of their children, right? She feels that Aslac is being pretty selfish. He's being selfless, right? He's looking out for his family, but Morgan wants him to prioritize who they have now, right? Because it's not only her, and Morgan is pregnant as well, so they have a new child on the way who they both have to raise, right? But then they have two daughters who are both of marriageable age, and then a young son who has to take over. And if Aslac messes up, that could be their reputation, that could be their business, that's their children's future, their unborn child's future, and their lives, like their physical safety. They all know what happened to David, and he was just trying to make a friend, right? And what do they think they would do to Lilith or Lucia or Thomas or this unborn child they have? I actually don't know what they're having, but it's taking a gigantic, she have another little girl, so it's taking a gigantic toll on their marriage. And I just feel so bad for him because he's doing such a good thing, but it is super dangerous. And if he were to be caught, it would probably result in his own family, the one he created himself, facing the consequences because he's trying to help out some of the Smiths here in the village. But he's remained steadfast, he's remained strong in his decision, but it has formed a pretty deep rift between him and his wife. They're still married, I believe. I don't think they're divorced. Let's see, spouse. Yeah, they still love each other, but this isn't even just a bump in the road. This is something that, like, Morgan is not playing about this at all. So anyways, while these two are having their marital issues, Lilith is still the eldest. I don't know if I think I showed her briefly when we visited the household a while back, but this is Lilith, and you can see her sister in the back. I forgot her name, Lucia. Lilith and Lucia are still teenagers. Well, Lilith is still a teenager, and Lucia aged up very recently. They're both beautiful, and they're more than eligible to get married to a worthy and rich man should they so desire, right? But as Morgan fears, right, they're rich enough to pay any dowry and marry who they choose, and I'm sure Aslac is giving them the choice of what they want to do with their life and everything like that. But based on how things going, perhaps it would be a good safety net for them to begin considering, I don't know, marriage to another family, so that if something were to happen to this one, they could claim that they were already moved out, had no knowledge of any of this, and was just being a wife or mother or whatever. But yeah, this family has quite a bit of drama going on, which is unfortunate to see because Aslac is just like, he's such a good guy. I don't know. And as for Thomas, of course, we've been seeing Thomas a bit more than usual because actually, y'all did not see the episode where Celestria made friends with him, but Thomas and Celestria have become pretty good friends, and Celestria has kind of taken on Aslac as a bit of a mentor figure. And now that Stephen is dead, I wonder if that feeling of mentorship will kind of shift towards maybe a bit more of a feeling of Aslac taking the place of her father. Who knows? Stephen was already not a really good dad to begin with, but now that he's not even an option, right? I wonder if Aslac will kind of fill in that position, right? But who knows? Now, I did say, like, oh, I hope the cousins and stuff don't get together. However, Celestria and Thomas are so far removed that technically they could get together and the game would allow it, even if I didn't split up the households or anything like that. So I said this in the episode that y'all did see, that as nice as I think Thomas is, and I would love this money to reintroduce itself into the Smith bloodline, the main bloodline, I don't really see Thomas and Celestria being a good romantic fit. But once again, that's up to my Sims. Between the soulmate mod and everything else, and attraction and everything, who knows what's gonna happen with this family. But for now, there's this perfect little family cottage house, has a few secrets and a few bumps in the road, and they're getting ready to welcome a new life into the family and trying to protect the ones that are already here. So they've just got a lot going on. On to Amice's household, who, as we all know, Amice passed away. She was killed by the hunters trying to protect her family from them. And she succeeded. They were more than satisfied with killing the one blue-haired woman, that they did not check to see if there were others who might have been occult in the household. So she sacrificed herself to save her kids, and they've all kind of moved on. And this household is freaking crazy. Oh my god. So let's start with Nicola, who is the eldest daughter, I believe. Only one of the kids moved out. Wait. Nicola, Marley, Serena. Okay, yes. Only one of the kids moved out, which is their brother, whose name I forgot. I don't remember his brother's name. But every single one of these girls has a child. Every single one. I think only one of them doesn't. But let's just go down the list. So we have Celestria here. Celestria actually got with Wolfgang Munch. They originally had children out of wedlock together, but eventually did recently get married, so there won't be any like social repercussions or anything of that. But the last names didn't change, but I need to go in and change that manually. But wait, nope, I was wrong. Okay, you're not the one who got married. I was wrong. They're just partners, but they're not married. So she fell in love with Wolfgang Munch. He moved into the household and they had 2 kids together? Question mark? 1 kid together. There's a lot of kids, guys. Bear with me. So I'm not sure how they met, what happened, or anything like that, but they really like each other, and he stuck around to be a father to their son Matthew. So that was cool. So I remember why her name isn't changed. That's crazy. But yeah, so they have a son together named Matthew. I don't know if Matthew is a spellcaster or not. Yes, he is. Okay, so he got the spellcaster gene, and just like his cousins, Amice is Stephen's aunt. Okay, yeah, so just like his cousins, a few inhuman features have made their way through the line. So how do y'all think the villagers would react to seeing a human-looking boy with bright red demonic-looking eyes? He does look like a manhwa character though, which makes me happy personally. Looks like the Grand Duke of the North or something, you know? That's very niche. I feel like one of y'all have to get that one. I understand. So let's just go down the line. Marley was the next one to, well, they all get pregnant around the same time, so I can't say next one to get pregnant, but she got with, what'd you get with? Okay, this Marley is the one who disappointed me the most and I have the most questions about. So somehow or another, she's not married, as we know. Somehow or another, she ended up sleeping with Benson Means. And this name might not sound familiar, but perhaps this face and body does. But y'all, Benson is the leader of the occult hunters. I don't know what happened. I don't know how it happened, how they met, what was going on, or anything like that. And they're not even soulmates. Like, not soulmates with the soulmate mod. This is just like, they have high romance, but I don't know how they met, anything like that. And Benson is actually currently married to? Yes. Okay, at the time he wasn't married to, but he also had another child with Susanna, who we're not going to go visit that family because it's a little bit too far removed. But one of Marjorie's grandchildren, remember that household that had like 2 Susannas? This is one of them. So I think this is Marjorie's child. I can't remember if this Susanna was Marjorie's child or what was her son's name? Or her son's kid, but this is either her daughter or her granddaughter. But either way, he kind of managed to get with 2 distant Smiths, one closer than the other, and one less human than the other. So that's really interesting to me. So together, they had 1 kid, or they had 1 kid? They had 1 kid? Yes, this little boy named Nicholas Woodson. I don't think that Benson knows that she got pregnant. I don't even know how they slept together, because he definitely would have seen these green freckles and killed her, or at least attempted to kill her. But maybe it was like a drunken night, and maybe she came to her senses first and escaped before he could realize that he slept with someone who was inhuman. Because I don't think he would be too pleased to know that he did that. But the son they have together is also not human looking, and it is he's hanging out with his grandfather here. But it is this guy here, once again, another human passing kid with inhuman eyes. Will this change as they grow up? I don't know. The game does what it wants to do, so if they're anything like the main household Sims, it'll probably be something completely different by the time he's a child. So I really couldn't tell you. Serena. Serena's recently married. She got married to Tim Smith. Okay, this is the one who, yes, okay. before they got married, they had a child out of wedlock and then recently got married, because I'm the one who got them married because I completely forgot. And once again, another instance of some of the girls in this household want to flirt or chat with Albreda. So yeah. And they all know Albreda because they're all part of the spellcaster defense group. But anyways, so her name, it should be Serena Smith. I'm gonna have to go in there and change it. But she got married to Tim Smith, and if we recall, this is why I need my old save file, because the family tree. But Tim is, I don't even know who you're related to. Who are you, Tim? Who are you? Whose son are you? Whose son are you, Tim? Hold on. Maybe if I put him in the game, he came with somebody. Oh, okay. Yes, his name is Tim Smith. This is one of the children that Stephen had when he wasn't supposed to be having kids anymore with his fourth wife. Wait, he had so many goddamn wives. The youngest wife. This is one of his sons he had with the youngest wife. Once again, he's not on the actual family tree, like the official family tree, because he's not really supposed to exist. Stephen just broke my mod and got people pregnant anyways. But technically speaking, she married, let me see. If you are Amice's kid, and Amice is Stephen's niece, and this is Stephen's son. Okay, so she married her cousin. Am I surprised? No, it's 1390 something. But I do still think it's weird because my brain is a modern day brain. But they seem happy together, I should say. And I'm glad that they actually got married. So that's nice, right? And together they had this beautiful little boy named Herbert, or Heribert. Heribert? Heribert? I actually don't know how to pronounce it. He's the one being held by his uncle Wolfgang, I suppose. Once again, in human eyes, but human skin. So I'm really curious about how these kids will grow up and look, at the very least. Like, that makes me I'm super interested in that. And there's two kids here. There's two kids we didn't go over. I don't know whose kids these are. But last but not least, we have Jalissa, who got pregnant as well around the same time. She was the youngest daughter, if we recall. She just aged up. And her beau, her person she was sleeping with, is not here. He is once again another cousin. This is Richard Smith, who is, well, how distant? I think these they're not first cousins, like her sister and her sister's husband. These two are, Richard Smith is the son of, I want to say, I want to say he's part of Marjorie's bloodline. He's somewhere down there. No, he's not. No, he's not. Oh my gosh, I don't remember who anybody is anymore. This fucking tree. Richard? Nope. Okay, actually, Richard Smith is actually one of the sons Stephen had as well. So this is probably another first cousin. He's not in this household, so I can't check this. Oh, actually, they had a kid together. Okay, hold on. Which one is your child? Which one is yours? Jordan is your kid. Okay, so she had this son named Jordan, who is right here. She gave birth first, which is why Jordan is technically the eldest, even though most of these infants and toddlers are the same age. So this is the son she had with Jordan, and Jordan is Richard Smith's son. As we can see, Richard has two kids with a Jones, which means he's going around to the different cousins, because yep, this is lots of cousins happening here. Okay, yes, this is one of Stephen's sons, and he had one of the ones we don't acknowledge because he happened after he was not supposed to have kids anymore. But with the third wife he took, they had two kids, Sarai and Richard. No, actually, I remember now. Richard is not Stephen's son. This is Stephen's stepson / nephew, because if we remember, Stephen's mother, who's not in the family tree because I took her out the household at the time, when I saved her to the gallery before moving save files, Richard's mother was sleeping with Avery. Yes. Oh my God, I remember now. Okay, so this is a distant cousin of Jalissa. I was right. So this is Avery's son. And if we remember, his mother, Susanna, who's still alive, just not in the family tree. Susanna married Stephen Smith. So he's a double Smith. So his great uncle Stephen was also Stephen, his stepfather. It gets really confusing, but that means, considering that he has children with Susanna Jones, that means Susanna, the one who has his other kids, this Susanna is either, oh my God, it's either his sister or his aunt, both of which are terrible. Oh my God. No. No. Oh, this is either his sister or his aunt. Oh, wait. I can check right here. You're Brielle's? Oh shit, this is his sister.
My disappointment is immeasurable. And my day is ruined.
As you could see, I didn't go that deep into the family trees before I started yapping away. But yes, so this missing box here is of a man from a different save file who he was already dead anyways before the save files got messed up, if we recall. But yeah, to be fair to Richard though, he wasn't raised around Avery at all. Avery had a one-night stand, and then Susanna married Stephen when he was super young. I don't even think he knows that Avery is his biological father or anything like that. So it's not surprising that he would sleep with someone and it just so happened to be his sister. But these two are half siblings. They have the same father. I'm not dwelling on that one too hard, but I did give that warning at the beginning for a reason. There is too high of a chance that we would see some intermingling between first cousins and possibly some siblings. And honestly, if you're gonna blame someone, blame the Sims team. If their packs worked, then my save file wouldn't have got corrupted and we wouldn't have this problem right now. That's who I blame. I blame the Sims team and the For Rent pack for corrupting my old save file and forcing my game to do this. All right, but that was it. Okay, I'm missing a child. Matthew. No, I went through Matthew. Joan. Who are you? Serena. Okay, you're one of Serena's kids. I thought there was just two of them. Okay. Serena and her cousin husband Tim had a son and a daughter named Joan and Herbert. I don't know how to pronounce it. But yeah. Anyways, I'm leaving this family because I hate that I just witnessed that. Hate it. Okay, so we're here in Denise's household now. As we can see, she's doing good. She is the last remaining of her siblings. Amice is dead and Stephen just died. So yeah, unfortunately, the one who almost died first, who almost burned alive, or did burn alive, kind of. I don't remember, but she outlived both of her siblings, which, I mean, she was the youngest, so it makes sense that she would, but I don't think it should have happened in the way that it did, you know? So yeah, and as much as I would love to say we've escaped accidental incest, we didn't. So remember when I said we were missing a child from the other household because the son left? So this is Rodrigo, to his I don't know why the Sims just put on what they want. I didn't give you that outfit. But as we remember, only one of Amice and Thomas's sons survived. All of the other ones passed away. So Rodrigo is the son that survived, and he actually left the house. He left the house and moved to Willow Creek, where he fell in love with a pretty little girl named Madison. Oh, isn't this adorable? Like, look at these two. This lovely couple here. They're not married, but they are together and have kids. But The reason this is terrible for me mentally is because these two are first cousins as well. He's Amice's son, which makes Denise his aunt, which therefore makes Madison his first cousin, which makes me sick to my stomach. But by the time I even found out, where I don't check in on my my side households until the end of each episode, and that's more to see if anyone dies so I can give accurate death dates and less to control them. You know what I mean? I don't it's really for makeover purposes and to get accurate dates if I need to. If somebody's like passed away, I could at least give the year. But yeah, he moved to Willow Creek. Terrible idea. Don't know why he'd do that as a spellcaster, but he moved in with his alien family members and fell in love with his cousin Madison, and they have 2 kids together. So they have Laura, who is the eldest and a toddler. Don't know why she has that implant. I didn't even notice she had it, but they have a daughter named Laura, who is a spellcaster. And they have a little boy named Shaquille. I'm definitely going to change that name because I don't quite think that name just fits. I do like it though. If this was any other time period, I'd let him keep it because I like the name Shaquille. Yeah. Anyways, a slightly more interesting story than more Smith cest is actually this girl here, Catherine. Catherine was actually my favorite of Denise's children. Denise's least favorite, as you can see. Denise and Catherine do not get along. They dislike each other. I think that's mostly because Catherine has a mean trait, if I recall. Yeah, she has a mean trait. So I imagine... Oh, she has a lot of things wrong. She's mean and phobic, so I imagine she and Denise butting heads pretty frequently. But all that to say, she, unlike her sister and cousins, is not in a romantic or sexual relationship with anybody, especially not one that she is related to, thank God. However, she is a mother. So this is actually really interesting. I do have adoption on, though most of my side household sims do not adopt a lot of kids. She is actually the first Smith to adopt. She adopted this pretty little girl here. Her name is Idonia, I believe. Idonia, yes. Her name is Idonia, and she is adorable. So she's... Okay, I can't control that for some reason. Her last name, I can't get close to her. What is happening? Whatever, I'm just gonna go back to Denise. But her name is Idonia, and she's actually she's distantly related to the Smiths, actually. So I think she adopted one of her cousins. Okay. Yes, so Nicholas Knott, who is now married to a man, he's stepbrothers with, I want to say he's one of Marjorie's step-grandchildren through, what was her eldest son's name? Daniel? I don't remember her eldest son's name anymore. Goodness, how am I supposed to... A good thing we're going into a new century so I can have like a blank slate to work with, because I'm literally forgetting people who they are. But I don't think that she is related by blood to these guys, the Cruises, or not, I suppose. But long story short, whatever reason, that man did not keep his child. I think the mother might have passed away during childbirth or something. But Catherine stepped in somehow or another and actually ended up being the adoptive mother of Idonia. So we'll see her on the family tree. It says they had them together, but she is not biologically related to Catherine at all. She has a different last name and everything. So yeah, so hopefully she's happy here. You know, she has cousins and everything she could play with. Lots of cousins. Hopefully they just remain cousins and nothing weird. Well, now that they're all in the same family tree, the game will slowly stop the Smith cest fest that's been happening. But you know, I'm just going to say I actually don't know what to say. I'm not sure. I know like the literal reason as to why these Smiths are getting together. As for like a canonical reason, couldn't give you one. it's just, maybe it's time period accurate. I don't know. But yeah, other than that, and the household becoming a bit more hectic, honestly, the household isn't hectic, it's me. My mind is hectic. I don't like this, but it'll slow down over time. The next generation or so, this won't even be something we discuss. But like it won't be something that keeps happening as the family trees start to fill themselves back out. But for now, boy do I suffer. So in non-Smith-cest related news, this is Daniel. And if you remember, Daniel is Denise's surviving son. So she had a second son, but he passed away. But she has Daniel, Catherine, and Madison. Daniel actually left Willow Creek and moved to Hemford and Bagley. So I guess he and his cousin Rodrigo did a bit of a switcheroo. And unlike his rest of his cousins, he left the bloodline. Thank God, praise Daniel. However, just like all of his other cousins from the old save file, he is no better than any of his other male cousins and got with MILF. And not just one MILF, he got with like 4 of them. So what exactly has David, his name isn't Daniel, it's David, Jesus. What exactly has David gotten up to? So before I even go into this household, one, he actually lives right down the road, directly next door to our main household Smiths. So this isn't where the Smiths lives. He lived down the road. Okay, here they go. He lives literally down the road from our main household Smith. So maybe we'll see Daniel more often. Daniel has no magical abilities, but he is a full-blooded alien courtesy of his mother Denise. So so hopefully we'll see him every now and again. But of course his family, the one he's in now, has no clue that he is has alien blood. But before he even got into Hemford and Bagley, he was up to quite a few things and into quite a few people. So he currently, nope, let's start from the beginning. So as you can see, these are a lot of hearts. These are a lot of romantic things with young adults, and he is a teenager. Are you a young adult now? Well, now he's a young adult, but he wasn't when he got these girls pregnant. But he got Bella Goth, Leilani Carissa, and Eliza Pancakes pregnant. So he's got a bunch of kids out there. He's got 2 daughters and a son. Hold up. Girl, boy, girl. Yeah, 3 daughters, and he's got a lot of kids. He's got a lot of kids and 4 baby mamas scattered throughout the lands, throughout the kingdom. So I'm not sure where Leilani Carissa lives. Oasis Springs. Okay, so obviously Bella and Eliza are in Willow Creek. I put them back in Willow Creek. So he's broken up quite a few families. And one of them is going to be way more ironic in just a second. But he impregnated Bella Goth, who was, as we all know, as Sims Watcher, was married to Mortimer Goth. And this random pregnancy with the man who was not Mortimer broke up their marriage. He also impregnated Eliza Pancakes, who originally tried to tell Bob Pancakes that baby was his, but I don't think he quite believed it after a while. And yes, and that was it. Then he also had a child with this girl named Leilani. Yeah, with a girl named Leilani, and who's apparently in Oasis Springs. So I guess he kind of figured that he messed with, he was doing a bit too much in Willow Creek and decided to spread his wings and head off to Oasis Springs. Did the same shit, came into Hemford and Bagley and did the same thing again. So who is he currently with? He currently lives with this lady here. This is Emily Phelps. As you remember, I got her off the gallery. She was part of another household. She's actually Henry's mother. Are you Henry's mom? I don't know. I split the households up because hers was really big and I don't know who she is anymore. But I believe she's Henry's mother or his sister. I want to say mom. I think his sister is still in the old house. But long story short, he came here. I don't think they're married. I think they're just, yeah, they're partners. She somehow knows that he's an alien, which is crazy because she is actually part of the Monster Hunters Guild. So maybe maybe she's fine with aliens, or as long as they can hide, as long as they have a human form, right? I think maybe she's looking past David because he has a human form and the children they've had together are not, they aren't hybrids like David's cousins down the road, you know? But for now, she's keeping it secret that she is in a strange bit of a partnership, a situationship, if you will, with an alien man, which is really interesting. Yeah, but this household used to be super poor, but as you can see, they're not living like Larry, I should say, but they are living in a much better state, and that is solely because Mortimer Goth is here. Now you may ask yourself, why would Mortimer Goth live in the same household as the man who helped his wife cheat and broke up his marriage? Well, Mortimer doesn't know that it was David, but Mortimer actually married Susanna, who was one of Stephen's baby mamas. I don't know, that she gets around. She does the same thing. If you remember, Susanna originally got pregnant by Avery, never married Avery or anything like that, but she did marry Stephen. Then Stephen died and she married this lady's son that we was just talking about. She was originally married to Henry Phelps before he ran off with Albreda after getting Albreda pregnant. And now she's married to Mortimer Goth. Oh, I don't know whose family is messier, hers or ours. Like, it's a lot of things have come full circle. But she married Mortimer Goth. Somehow or another they met, and he was sick of Willow Creek, sick of his wife. His daughter kind of followed his wife's footsteps and got pregnant, not by David, thank God, but by somebody. I don't know. But he was kind of sick of both of them and ashamed of them. So he took his young son and moved them far, far away from Willow Creek and that city to kind of build up power and prestige in a smaller area. So he came to Himford-on-Bagley. Now, will he stay for long? I'm not sure. But yeah, so he has no relation to Emily Phelps or David or anything like that. Phelps was just living with her daughter-in-law, Susanna, and then Mortimer married Susanna. So they're all just kind of living here together. And because the family is mostly uneducated, Mortimer and his son go out and do other stuff, like important things, and the family just mostly work the farm. But I think that Mortimer travels pretty often, so I don't think he's actually here all the time. I think he got married on paper, but I don't really think he is like an active husband at the house, you know what I mean? But I can't say that Susanna cares. I think it works for both of them. I think it works for both of them, and then Alexander will soon be old enough to do whatever he wants, which also means that Alexander, being a rich man coming from one of the richest families in the kingdom, you know, maybe our main household, Stephen's gone, but maybe Lucia will be keeping a bit of an eye on him because he's similarly aged to Celestria, right? If she can somehow marry Celestria off to anybody, he might be the best bet. Because he's the eldest male in the house. It's technically Mortimer Goth's house now because he married Susanna. Anyways, yeah. So I think we're going to be keeping a bit of an eye out for Alexander Goth in the next little bit. But Mortimer was actually kind enough to not give a title to Elise and Adeline or Maud, but you know, helping them receive a bit more education, a bit more prestige, so they aren't completely peasants anymore. They're closer to like middle class, if that. So this is about Mortimer, this is about David, but I just think it's really funny that he is now living in the same house of the man whose wife he impregnated and left. So I don't know. I just think that this one is funny. And it doesn't involve anything to do with anyone related to us, to the Smiths. So, you know, pick my poison. Smith-cest or like a douchebag targeting middle-aged women. Oh wait, him and Mortimer don't get along. Oh, never mind. Mortimer does know. Oopsie daisy. Mortimer does know that this is the man. Either that or they just don't get along for other reasons. I don't know. Not my circus, not my monkey, but yeah, he's got a lot of kids, and it seems that one of them, Gabrielle, who is in Oasis Springs with Nani, is a hybrid because he himself is an alien with blue skin. I don't think his actual kid is. Yeah, this one is fully human. So I will say, because we'll probably be seeing David a bit more now that he's down the street, I think he might keep his distance from the Smith family. I don't think he's let his wife, or not his wife, but like his woman, the woman he's with, know that he is blood related to the people with the strange children down the road, right? Because she's going to assume something happened, and she's going to ask a lot of questions, and it'll probably be revealed that the common ancestor, like that common gene, is also in him, which is why he has an alien form. She probably just thinks that he's a whole different person, unrelated to the family. He doesn't want to out them accidentally. He doesn't know, he wasn't born in Henford-on-Bagley. He wasn't raised here. He's from Willow Creek. So he doesn't know how much the rest of what the Smiths have released, what they've made public, or what the general atmosphere of Henford-on-Bagley is. He's very new to the village. And for now, he's safe because he has a completely pure human form. As long as I keep wanting to call her his wife, but that's not what they are. But as long as his partner doesn't see that blue form, I think she can pretend that he's not that. Same thing with their children. If they can appear human enough, I think she can let it slide. However, as we can see, hybridism is something that could happen at any moment. It just it's happened with one of the 4 kids he's got, which means it could happen again. Obviously, he could, follow the pattern he has been doing and just dip. But if him and Emily's relationship gets a bit stronger, as you can see, like his friendship bar with all the other baby mamas is full, but hers is a little further down. Emily's also just mean. So if he pisses her, I think he's also just stuck. If he pisses her off, or if they have a child who has a form that cannot be hidden or does not appear human enough, Emily will most likely report him and their child to the Monster Hunters Guild, who she works directly with. And I feel like she'd do it without hesitation. She's probably using that as a way to anchor him, right? She now knows his name. She could have him track down. They could probably track down his mother, his sisters, right? And if they track down his mom and his sisters, they can track down the family and start doing investigations on the Smiths. And that would it would all go downhill from there. So right now, I think his lessons have caught up to him. Will he continue going around doing whatever he wanted to do, having his little fun times? I'm not sure. Will he run away from Henford-on-Bagley with or without his daughter? I'm not sure. But I do know is that we haven't really seen him in a while. I don't see him visiting his cousins or anything like that anytime soon. Even if he wanted to, I think he knows it would just be too dangerous. There's so many people here, so many Smiths here. We have the hybrid main bloodline who already get enough flack. I'm sure he's heard of the attack on David. And, his Aunt Amice, the other side, has like a flock of children who are all spellcasters. So he's remaining cautious, but he's also kind of found himself stuck between a rock and a hard place. The only things he can do is run and then just hope that the monster hunters don't get far into their investigations, die of any other cause outside of a monster hunter, or keep his mouth shut and keep Emily pleased, and hope to God that any other children he may or may not have with Emily does not have an alien form. So as silly as his little adventure is, he's stuck now. He's stuck now. So I'm not sure if we'll be seeing much of him or if he'll allow us to see much of him. I think I don't think he's a bad person. I think he's just horny all the time. he's horny all the time and just goes for women, and he has a type. Let me see. He's introverted, fickle, slow to warm up, silly, and well balanced. Yeah, so he's quick to He's quick to leave and stick to himself. So, we'll see what becomes of David. I don't know if we'll see him in our main storyline or not, but hopefully things don't get too bad here. Because we're right down the road and it's going to affect us too, David. Keep it in your pants next time. Stop going after married women and MILFs, and then maybe you wouldn't have accidentally gotten involved with a monster hunter. Maybe if you got to know people before you slept with them, you could have avoided it. This is why we get to know people. This is why. This is why we don't have one-night stands with random people. Now look at you. And she's literally, she's part of the guild. She's not like married to a man in the guild. She's part of it. She's one of the people. She's one of the lookouts for Henford on Bagley. So if anything that happens in Henford on Bagley, technically Emily and Aslac are the ones to like report it to people who would actually take action. And that's not good. That's terrible. Wait a second, Leilani is too? How many monster hunters did you fuck, David? Whatever. This is not about David. He's not even our main household. David, the bad decision maker. Hopefully our David and our main household is better at choosing who to sleep with than you. That's all I gotta say. Goodbye. And for our final household of the day, and also our last time ever seeing this person who might not look like they looked before, but this is actually Thelca. Yes, the same Thelca who was married to Nasir. She is still alive and kicking for now. She will actually be passing away soon, way before the next side household update. She's passing away like the next few days, 3 days. So she'll pass away sometime next year in 1396. So she has 9 months left. She doesn't even know it. But, yeah, she's still here in Willow Creek. And you know what? I think that she was really just mentally holding on, doing everything she can to make sure that her granddaughter Susanna was able to grow up and have someone take care of her. So this is Susanna. As we recall, Thelca's this is her great-grandchild who was abandoned by her mother because of these markings on her face. Her mother thought that it would bring in danger, that other people would see it as a sign of her being inhuman or something, and abandoned her with Thelca. Completely abandoned her. Like, her grandmother, who was Thelca's actual daughter, they took literally everyone but Susanna, and it was super sad. But Thelca stepped up, she stepped in, and she has just been an amazing mother figure and great grandmother to little Susanna. And Susanna is now old enough to fend for herself. You know, Thelca would love to see her thrive in other ways, or, you know, have family members who are also taking care of her. But, you know, she could just hope that the way she raised Susanna was good enough. Susanna, you know, can hopefully stay safe, especially with the rise of monster hunters, which does worry Thelca, that somebody would see Susanna, assume that she's something she's not, and harm her. But, you know, Susanna's grown up. She's a tough girl. Well, she's actually sensitive, but she's a tough girl. You know, she knows how to work. She knows how to do everything she needs to do to keep herself alive. I'm sure she's got some level of street smarts and knows how to respond when people say certain things about her skin or something like that. So yeah, she's got a few more months left. She's new. She's a new teenager too. So she's actually 13, which is, it's sad. So hopefully we also won't be seeing her because she's not close enough to the side household family for me to follow. And obviously now we've got a new generation full of cousins to follow, so we won't be seeing her in these side household updates anymore. But as much as I've been talking about not wanting any more Smiths to get together, she, one, was already super far removed, so she could be brought back into the family with no question, even in the old save file. But I would love to see her come around, even if that means just like she marries someone in Henford on Bagley, so we see her come up to buy some wine from the Smith table or something like that. Or even if she marries one of the cousins we're following in our side household updates, just to kind of see what she's up to, because I really, really like Susanna. So yeah, so Thelca will be passing away in 1396, which is the next episode. It'll be off screen, obviously, but let me see. I don't have my spreadsheet up, but I wonder if I could do some quick math, if I can find Thelca's name real quick to see. That's Elena. Wait, why is everyone on here but Thelca? Joan, Lycia, Philippa, Philip, Avery, Alondra. Okay, I don't think I ever added Thelca to the list. Crazy of me. That's crazy. Why would I do that? Oh well. Well, Nasir was born in 1326. We're just gonna say Thelca was born somewhere around that time. I can't remember if she was older or younger than Nasir. Nasir died so young, I can't remember. But, let me see, it's 1390 something now, so she's at least in her 70s, I think, if I did math correctly. If she's dying in 1396 and we're just gonna assume she was born in 1326 or somewhere around that area, yeah, she's probably passing away at about 70 or so, which is a pretty long life compared to everybody else. She's outlived quite a few people. Oh, well, Thelca. I actually really liked Thelca. I really liked her story with Nasir. If you remember, Nasir was an ass. He was so hot-headed, and that he married a woman who matched his energy completely, and they just had like a gaggle of kids, especially girls who were also rambunctious and didn't take shit from anybody. Nasir didn't really get to see them grow up. He passed away early at age 30. He was not the first of Alice's kids to pass away, but like the first of the ones who didn't die extremely young to pass away, you know what I mean? But yeah, she's gone. Well, she will be gone. She's gone soon. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this side household update. I know it was super chaotic, and I'm sorry if certain topics made y'all a little uncomfortable. But one, I'm sure it wasn't too rare to see certain relations between family members back in the day, even amongst peasants. I know royal families and nobility did, but I'm not sure if it was super popular amongst peasant class or middle class. But hey, the cookie crumbles and the way it crumbles, just gotta roll with the dice, quite literally. So hope you all enjoyed, and let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.